Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Horny Creek. My name is Mark. With me as always is my fiance Carol. How are you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week. It is May 20th, 1998. We're approaching your birthday.
Yes, we are very rapidly.
Yeah, about a week away or so.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, what am I going to do to you for your birthday?
To me?
What? Oh, I mean, for you.
There you go.
Birthday spankings.
Woohoo.
But this wasn't much of a birthday gift. I mean, it was and it wasn't, but we watched an episode of, I almost said Quantum Leap. We watched an episode of Dawson's Creek titled Breaking Away.
We did. We watched an episode, and I'm still crying the next day.
Right.
What the fuck?
You're dehydrated.
They're trying to kill me.
She's been leaking all day. She's rubbing her eyes. I'm leaking, Mark. Yeah, quite a heavy episode.
Oh my lord!
It starts out funny too.
I don't even remember. I don't remember anything happy.
I don't remember any joy
or funny
in life ever.
Right?
Can't remember the last time it was good.
Oh wait, okay, I remember now.
They were in Dawson's room,
As per usual.
like happens at the beginning of every single episode, and then they completely called it out.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, she's like Joey's like." It's the same thing every day. We do the same thing, and it's so predictable. And he's talking about a TV show, and he's like, it's a cliffhanger, and she's like, cliffhangers are all the same, and they suck, and and he's like, what if it's different? But it's very meta. They're absolutely calling out that this is the season finale and all that stuff.
And it was awkward between them though when she came in. And
it was awkward.
She's like, aren't we going to watch a movie tonight? It's movie night. And he's like, I didn't even run a movie. I'm surprised you're here, basically. And then,
and she's like, oh, I just came to tell you I couldn't come.
Right. It's just like, what the hell? Oh, my God. They need to stop.
They need therapy.
They need something.
They need couples counseling.
They just need to get at it.
Oh, there you go. Well, they do share a hotel room in this episode.
They do.
And I don't know why, because nothing comes of it.
I think that was a teaser for us.
There's a lot of teasers.
Yeah.
Joey even says that in the beginning of the thing. She's like, it's like one big tease, Dawson. Mm-hmm. And then looks right at the camera and winks at us.
Right. So, yeah.
And then Paula Cole says, I don't want to wait for my life to be over before Dawson nails Joey.
Oh my God, do you think that's going to happen? I can't even imagine it happening.
It's weird because they both do and don't have chemistry on screen. They have chemistry in a very certain way, but romantically they don't really have great chemistry.
I don't know.
Her and Joshua Jackson have better chemistry to me. Very much, I think so, yeah. And he and Michelle Williams have pretty decent chemistry together, I guess. But
I guess.
I know. I know who the problem is in this situation.
Dawson?
No offense, James Van Der Beek. I'm sure you're a very charming and affable guy. But, yeah, chemistry-wise, he does awkward teen very well.
Yes. Yeah, and this episode, you don't hate him like normal.
No, all of a sudden he's like a good person.
Just feel sorry for him. He just looks confused all the time.
He really does. Doesn't know what's going on.
Doesn't know what to do.
It's like he just got the script. Well, how do you feel, Dawson? I don't know.
So, okay. This episode, we find out that Joey is given the opportunity to go to France next year because somebody who got a scholarship to study abroad is turning it down.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to leave their boyfriend.
Because they hate Jerry Lewis.
Sure.
He's very popular in France.
Okay.
They mentioned Mickey Rourke as well, but...
They do?
Yeah. She goes, I don't know if I could spend a year anywhere where Mickey Rourke's so popular. That's Jerry Lewis is the joke a lot of times because for whatever reason he's really popular in France.
Interesting.
You know Jerry Lewis, the lady.
I know
Jim
him.
Carrey before Jim Carrey existed.
Sure. That makes sense.
I did not like Jerry Lewis at all either. I was on Dean Martin's side in the whole Martin and Lewis breakup.
How the fuck old are you? Like, seriously. No, it's time. It's time to tell.
I mean, Dean Martin did the Young Lions right afterwards, and, what?
I don't know. I just, I know you have a baby face, but...
I just eat Campbell's soup.
Right.
I'm 116 years old.
I believe it.
You ever seen that thing where the commercial where it's like the old guy comes in and he's like, I'm gonna eat Campbell's soup, and he turns into a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Okay. Every morning before I wake up, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's like a ritual to reverse the aging from when I'm sleeping. I need a bowl of Campbell's soup. The preservatives knock down the... I mean, it could be worse. I could need, the soul of a virgin or something like that. I'd be out of luck with you.
Hey now.
Hey now. Okay, anyway. So, speaking of virgins, Joey.
Right.
Josephine Potter.
So she's all conflicted about whether or not she wants to go. She's like, I don't know anybody over there. I don't speak the language.
Give me a reason to stay, Dawson.
Yeah.
Is essentially what she's saying.
She does. She literally says that to him. Unless you have some non-analytical reason.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's really being hard on him because
she's very hard on him this whole episode.
He's at several times he's like, hey, I want to figure out what's going on between us. I'd like to explore these feelings I'm having, all this stuff and everything. She just looks at him with hate in her face and is like, figure it out, Dawson.
Yeah.
I think she's finally fed up. She's been pining after him for a long time, and now she's like, I can't figure this fucking out for you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, she wants him to just, essentially grab her, kiss her, and tell her he loves her. That's what she wants, and anything less than that's just making her mad.
Exactly. She wants to, in many ways, she's a lot like Dawson. Because she wants the big romantic gesture. He's a person that's like, life's like a movie. I'm going to it's a big romance and I'm going to treat it like I'm do all the cliche romance things. And that's how he identifies life as movie plots. That's how he sees life is through films. And she's like that in a way as well. She's more grounded in reality than he is, but she wants the big romantic fucking gesture too. She wants to be swept up in everything. She doesn't want to sit down and have a Otto Preminger fucking conversation where it's let's discuss every aspect of life and that kind of stuff. She wants the big romantic sweep you off your feet gesture.
Right. So yeah, the whole episode she's pissy. It is her father's birthday, and
such a dismissive way to say someone's angry. She's pissy, like a fucking kid.
I'm sorry, she was getting on my nerves.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. I'm just pointing it out.
But so her dad, if we recall, is in prison for dealing drugs,
for dealing marijuana.
Apparently,
the fucking most ridiculous thing in the world to me. It's eventually they need to legalize marijuana. I think there's a huge call for that already.
Sure,
but I don't know. I don't want to get into politics or anything with anybody, but I don't think marijuana is any more harmful than alcohol. Probably in many ways less harmful than alcohol. And I think locking dudes up for many, many years for dealing marijuana is kind of insane.
Well, I mean, that's what they used to do to bootleggers,
That's true.
It's basically the same thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And eventually I think this prohibition on marijuana is going to end. And then what do? Do we let out all the people that are in jail for it?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, those are decisions that I don't have to make. So
I mean, I don't feel sorry for him, though, because he's an asshole. He cheated on their dying mother while she had cancer.
And that means he should rot in jail for 15 years.
Yes. Is that how long? Did they say that?
So, yes.
Wow. So it's only been 2 years since he went to jail.
Right.
This is now Joey's turn to visit him because her and her sister are doing alternating birthdays.
Yeah, she entered into a pact when she was 13 years old.
Yeah, I can't
to do alternating birthdays with her sister.
I can't believe her sister is even trying to hold her to that. How old do you think her sister is?
Probably. So I'm gonna guess around 20-ish, maybe 21. She can probably buy alcohol. So I'm gonna 21, 22. So that makes sense, I guess. 20, yeah, 21 probably makes sense.
Sure.
Then there's 6 years between the two of them, which is, I mean, that's, logical. And it's a big gap, but not a huge gap. And that means that she was around 18 or 19 when her dad went away to prison, which is why, and her mom died, which is why she's allowed to take care of Joey.
Yeah, she had to be an adult at the time. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or else they'd be in a home.
Oof. So, yeah, I agree. I think it's ridiculous she's being held to a promise that she made at that age.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she's only 15, which she mentions in the episode, so the answer has been given.
Yeah, I guess they're all 15, which is crazy. Because they do not look 15.
And Pacey drives around. She said, "Can you steal your dad's car?" Mm-hmm. He's stealing it because he doesn't have a fucking license.
Right, exactly.
But, yeah.
That's why he's bad at driving, too.
Right.
Because he hasn't learned.
But he drives so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's because his family the police.
He's probably getting better at driving.
I mean,
his family's a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. He drives like 4 hours in this episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Insane. But yeah, so at 15 years old, she is off to prison by herself. Her sister is just like, "You do this. You need to do it," and doesn't even like offer her any help.
Yeah, 15 on her own.
She takes a bus.
On a bus 4 hours away to a prison.
Like, what the fuck, lady? What kind of guardian is she?
Well, yeah, no shit. Luckily, Dawson accompanies her.
Yeah.
The help of a scrawny 15-year-old boy.
Right. 2 15-year-olds do not make a 30-year-old. Sorry.
That's the Rob Lowe defense. It's
wow.
Yeah. There's a book, I think it's a series, and I cannot remember what it's called though. But this reminds me of it. It's written in diary form, and it's from the perspective of this teenager with a big vocabulary falls in love with this girl. He lives, I think, in a trailer with his sister. I don't know. I'll have to think about it, see if I can come up with the name of this book. But it's a good book. I like it.
Okay. But yeah, so Joey and Dawson go off to see her dad, and she's so angry. Not that you can blame her, but she's just like, she can barely sit there. She can barely look at him. She's like, "This was not a good idea. I shouldn't have come." And like, yeah, if the point is it's his birthday and you're there to cheer him up, then yeah. Probably not.
Well, I don't know if it's. I don't know what the point of it is. I guess to cheer him up, or I think the way Bessie, which is a cow's name,
right?
Her sister, the Bessie Potter, the way they really wanted a child to be transported to the Little House on the Prairie at some point. But anyway, the way that she puts it, it seems like it's an obligation.
Right.
Like, hey, hi, Dad, happy birthday, see ya, kind of thing.
But why else would they do it if not to, make him happy on his birthday?
Yeah, I guess. And to have, like, some semblance of family.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she does not go that way.
No. Yeah, she's livid, and she basically, like, just leaves. Like, she's just like, I can't do this, walks out.
He's like, "How was school?" And she's like, "That's what you want to talk about?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, what do you want to talk about?" And she goes, "Nothing." What the fuck? Well, then we can't talk about school then? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, I think she's upset about the fact that it's small talk. I mean, I get that. It's like you haven't seen your daughter in 2 years and you're going to do surface small talk. But at the same time, you haven't seen her in 2 years. What are you going to talk about?
Right. Like, I'd want to know how she was doing in school.
Right. That's a parent question.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can't just, like, start, like, so what's your personality? Like,
right.
It's yeah, that's a difficult you have to start somewhere.
How are you emotionally dealing with the loss of your mother and father?
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's the kind of shit she really wants to get into.
I guess, yeah, but that's the kind of stuff you need to get into with a therapist, not your father that's imprisoned.
Right.
But so she storms off, and then Dawson is roped into staying. He's like, Dawson, don't go. He's like,
Tell me about my daughter.
Fuck.
Tell me about my daughter. How is she? What's she like? Mm-hmm. And he does. He tells her all about her in a way that makes it just incredibly obvious that he's in love with her.
He explains to her father how he sees Joey through his eyes, essentially. Not like... And I guess maybe this is part of the point, is that this is not an analytical... Here's what's going on with her. Here's how what you did affected her life. Here's this stuff. It's not analytical at all. It's all coming from his emotions, and I guess that's the point of it. Is that he's finally using his heart to think about Joey.
He ends with "She is everything."
Right.
I mean, that's some pretty deep shit.
No shit.
But we skipped over something very important.
We did.
They rode the bus 4 hours to get there on his birthday. And they got there after 5 p.m., which was the end of visiting hours.
Right.
Which is why they then had to stay the night in a motel. Mm-hmm. So... was it called
the Loveless Motel?
I didn't pay attention to the name.
I think that's what it was called, which is, I guess, telling.
Yeah. It's so weird because Dawson is so awkward and uncomfortable about sharing a bed with her. And she's like, we shared a bed a billion times. And... Yeah. Well, this is the first time we've slept in a foreign bed.
Right.
What? That is not why it's awkward. Like he's even asking, like, "Are we sleeping left or right?" Like, what? What
does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, like head to toe, like that.
I think that's what he was asking, like head to tail or something,
But I don't know. Left.
To me, your genitals are still lined up that way, so it's like I don't think it doesn't make that big of a difference.
Well, I guess it depends on how much you like feet.
Right.
I mean, you're not.
That's Quentin Tarantino's preferred way to sleep.
Exactly. But yeah, they just awkwardly turn away from each other and sleep. Nothing happens, and it's very disappointing. Mm-hmm. Although Joey does, make him feel bad again first.
Yeah.
So they go back home, and
after she talks to the dad, yeah.
Yeah. Well, after she storms out and Dawson talks to the dad.
Yeah, that's more accurate, yeah.
And the whole episode, Pacey is dealing with shit from his family.
Yeah.
Just like last episode, his dad's on his ass and
for failing out and all that stuff, or being close to failing out.
Well, his brother said he failed all his midterms, so
yeah,
that's not good.
I don't know if he's carrying D's or what. I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, his brother, Deputy Doug, pulled him over. Right? Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dougie. Doug E. Fresh.
It makes me think about Scream.
It makes me think of rappers. You're thinking of what's his name? Not Doogie. Dewey.
Dewey. That's it. Yeah.
Dewey. Hey, maybe Kevin Williamson's brother really is a cop named like Dougie or something like that. Because that is weird. I never thought about that before. But that's two things created by him, where there's a character that has a brother who is a police officer.
Yeah,
who's a deputy.
Yeah,
in a small town police force.
Weird, huh?
Yeah, he must have some sort of that must hold some kind of connection. I haven't done any research into Kevin Williamson's life, so.
But his brother actually says to him, "How does it feel to be the town joke?"
Yeah, they're not supportive in any way.
Like, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. Mm-hmm. That's, I mean, like, he's like, you're going to wake up one day and realize that you're a bad punchline that nobody's laughing at.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Go fuck yourself.
It's like, this is a kid. Yeah. This is a child who can't even drive.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And, he goes to Joey's restaurant because he doesn't want to go home for dinner, understandably. And they get into a whole conversation about how he's feeling bad about his dad.
About family and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He tells a very poignant story about how he was, what was it, basketball or baseball or something? It was the big sports moments, and he failed. And everyone hated him because he failed. And his dad, like, berated him and said, oh, you're such a fucking loser and stuff. He was like 8.
Oh.
And then he, they went home, he went up to bed, and then he kind of crept down, and he was talking to his brother. The dad was talking to his brother, and he goes, at least I still have you.
Wow.
Holy shit. That's a heart rip-out moment. And he's like, he goes, I never told anybody that or whatever. He's like, I really wish I hadn't heard that. Like, it'd be better just to have never heard that.
Yeah.
And she said, well, why don't you tell your dad that he hurt you? And he goes, well, is that what you did?
She's like, no, but I'm going to.
And then she rushes out to take a 4-hour bus ride. And he's like, I'll steal a car and drive you there.
No, she asked him to.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like, that's insane to me. That is a big ask. You don't have a license. Drive me 4 hours away.
To a prison. With
a
cops.
stolen car.
Right. No license and a stolen car. Can you drive towards some police officers for me?
But he does. Like, it's so weird. Like, in the beginning, it doesn't seem like they're that good of friends. They are very good friends. Because there's no way you do that for somebody you didn't care about. But he and then he even pays off the prison guard $20 so that they'll let her see him because it's, again, after visiting hours.
It's like 9 o'clock at night.
Dawson and Pacey are so different.
Yes, they are.
Because, like, a hotel had to cost so much more than $20. But it didn't even occur to Dawson to try to bribe the dude. No. He's just like, oh, we'll just get a room.
They are different people.
Very. But Joey has finally, like, this, really deep and healing, probably, conversation with her dad.
About, do you love me? And that's the heartbreaking part, is that she tells him off about what he did to her and how she's pissed off about, like, cheating on the mom and all that stuff. And she was like, and the worst part is you don't know me. Like, essentially that you abandoned me. You weren't there for me.
Yeah. Kind
of thing. And then she again in this episode says, he's like, oh, you're so beautiful. And she's like, no, I'm not. What the fuck? But she says, do you love me? Like, she asks that question. So she thinks it's possible that no one loves her.
Yeah, she says to him, I'm 15 years old, and I spend every minute of every day thinking no one loves me. That's awful. That's heartbreaking.
Yep. It definitely is.
What?
Nothing.
What?
I don't want to get into it.
Okay. Weird.
It's a sentiment I can relate to, especially around that age.
Aww.
But I don't want to get into it. We don't need to get that personal.
Okay. But yeah, so he does say he loves her, that he thinks about her all the time and everything. And so, I mean, and she ends up telling him she loves him too, which was surprising.
Yeah.
And that's it. She leaves and she'll see him again in 2 years. Like,
yeah, I guess so.
That's awful.
You think she's going to hold Bessie to that and not go see him next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think she's going to go see him again next year?
I thought maybe it's a possibility that she might try to see him more often and have more of a relationship with him.
Maybe.
That's where that conversation would lead to, but I don't know.
I mean, it could also just have worked on healing some wounds.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how big their budget for guest stars is.
Right. And, how easy it is for her to get there. It's not. So.
All right.
So he tells her, too, while they're talking, that he's not the only one that loves her.
Yeah, that's quite convenience.
Dawson loves her, too.
He was like, the director also told me to tell you that Dawson loves you. Let's make this about him, too, Joey.
Well, no, I mean, it was obvious, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the rationale of him saying that is her saying that she feels like nobody loves her. And him being like, hey, I can't be there every day, but you do have someone in your life that loves you, even though you're not saying it to each other.
Yeah, and he's like, you love him too, don't you? Like, all that. So he's like, you got to tell him now, don't wait. He actually puts it in this disgusting, awful way.
Does he? I don't remember. What's he
Don't
says?
wait until the person you love is riddled with cancer and then you're holding back the one thing they want. And I just want to be like, why were you holding it back, you fucking asshole?
Yeah, seriously. Why were you cheating on her?
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway.
I don't know about this dude.
No. He sounds like a complete asshole. But he does tell her, you need to go tell him. And she's like, takes off like she's going to. So...
And then before we get to the ending, we need to talk about Jen's story.
Yes. Okay.
Because this is where those storylines kind of converge.
Jen's grandpa wakes up from his coma.
See you later, Jen, he says.
Yeah, she's leaving for school. No, bye, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's leaving for school. He says bye to her. And Jen's so happy. Like, she goes to school talking to Dawson, like, I finally feel like cutting loose and having some fun. Let's hang out. And he's like...
she is hardcore trying to get back together with him.
Yeah, and he's like, I got plans with Joey.
She's like... Oh. Then Joey comes up and talks about how she's got asked to do the Paris thing, and she's like, as soon as she leaves, she says to Dawson, she should go, don't you think? Don't you think she should get the fuck out of here?
Yes. So she's all happy, and then almost immediately he has another stroke and is in intensive care. There's just so much sadness and so many tears around this storyline. But I mean, that's basic. I mean, there's not too much to say about it other than it's just fucking sad.
He wakes up from his coma, but it's too much for his heart, so he has a stroke.
Yeah. So, she talks about, she sits there with him. She talks about, how much she loves him and stuff. And
there's a lot of God stuff.
Yeah, Grams keeps wanting her to go to church and to pray. And yeah. Of course, though, he ends up dying.
Yeah.
So
the hospital calls, and this whole thing is weird. Kind of funny, but also weird.
It was kind of funny.
Like, they call, she's like, no, this is her granddaughter. And then she's like, this is her granddaughter, and almost immediately, it's a weird shot.
It's like very weird.
It's like they frame her out almost. You can see just a little bit of her hair, but they frame her out, and they frame the grandmother in, and then she says, he's gone, and it sounds like ADR dialogue. It sounds like an additional dialogue recording. And it's not a very good delivery of he's gone. Because it sounds almost like flat.
Yeah.
It sounds almost like they just took it from something that she had said in another episode. Like, oh, where's Dawson? Oh, he's gone.
Right.
It's a very casual, almost like that. So I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if the performance didn't, jibe well enough or whatever. It seems oddly framed, almost like they had to cut the frame down and adjust or something. I don't know exactly what they had to do, but it's a really weird shot from a technical perspective and a weird line delivery. And then the grandma's sad and everything. But I just love the implication of them being like, hey, is dude's wife there? And she's like, no, this is her granddaughter. Oh, he's dead.
Right?
They don't even say like, hey, is she there? Can we speak to her? Because she's right there.
Yeah. Jen...
Is she just like, he's dead, tell her. We don't want to tell her. Why don't you tell her?
Yeah.
He died, bye. And they hang up the phone.
It is very weird.
Yeah, that whole situation's odd. But then the grandmother is like, she's like, I'm going to church. You want to go to church or whatever? Well, actually, so before that, that's when Jen goes to Dawson. Dawson's been trying to figure out what's going on with him and Joey.
Yeah. And
there's someone climbing through the window, and he looks up, and it's Jen. And he's like, oh, Jen, what are you doing here? And she's crying and everything, and she's like, my grandpa's sick. He had another stroke. This is before he died.
Okay.
My grandpa's sick. He had another stroke. I feel like I'm losing everybody, and all that stuff. And can I sleep here tonight? Like, you and Joey sleep together.
Yeah, as friends, she says.
And he's like, sure. So they cuddle and fall asleep.
But he looks incredibly, like, awkward. Like, you can tell he's only doing this because he feels bad for her, not because he actually wants her there.
Yeah, because she's all crying on him and everything. And they fall asleep, and it's like a fucking horror movie. Mm-hmm. So Joey is back from talking to her dad, and she's paddling across the creek.
Mark's literally like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Get up, get out of the bed.
So she's paddling across the creek, and Dawson and Jen are in bed together, and they're waking up, and it just keeps going back and forth, like Joey's running up the dock towards the house. They're like slowly waking up. It just keeps cutting like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's like a fucking scene out of the French Connection or something. And she starts climbing the thing, and then Jen's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, beautiful," or whatever. And like,
she leans in to kiss him.
And she starts kissing him like on the corner of the mouth, like not a full on kiss. And his eyes are just like, "What the fuck?" And then Joey sees. And he's like, "Oh no, Joey!" And she runs off, and then he runs after her.
Yeah, and Jen's like, "Dawson, she'll be fine."
Right? That was hilarious. Let her go. And then he's like, "Oh my God, Jen, I got to go after her. She got the wrong idea about us." And she goes, Did she? And he's like, "Yeah."
And she's like, Are you like
in love with her?
Yeah, and he's like, "I don't know, but I need to talk to her."
Yeah. So then he leaves, and then that's when she goes back down to Graham's and takes that phone call, finds out he's dead.
Yeah, and then the rest of the episode is Dawson looking for Joey,
right,
everywhere, and then he finally gives up and comes home, and she's in his closet.
Yeah,
which is weird. I guess it's normal for them, but that's weird.
Yeah.
Especially in the situation that occurred. I mean, like, she saw him kissing Jen, freaked out, and then she
doubled back and
in.
went back into.
Yeah.
That's weird. But so, yeah, he finds her there. Jen, meanwhile, is at church with Grams. She finds Grams at church, and Grams is trying to be that stoic New England, everything's fine kind of, thing, and the New England people are famously like stoic and unemotional.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, but anyway, so she's like, he's in the arms of the Lord now, and all that stuff, and then she just fucking breaks down.
Thank God. I mean, really, like, she needed to.
That's the love of her life is dead. I mean, it's devastating.
It was very sad.
So. Then, so that happens, and then we go back to Dawson and Joe.
So she's like, "I'm going to go to France because I just, like, I don't feel like there's any reason for me to be here, and, blah, blah, blah." And because, she's upset because he was kissing Jen. He's like, "Nothing was going on with me and Jen." And there's all this back and forth, and she's like, "Forget it, Dawson." And she's leaving, and he grabs her and kisses her finally.
Yep.
And, he kisses her, he lets go, he grabs her and kisses her again. I was very proud of him.
Right.
He actually took charge. But that's it. Like, there's no resolution.
It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, they're just making out in front of the window.
Yeah, they're forming a silhouette in front of the window, and as the camera slowly backs up, and I expected Jen to be like looking up at the window, and then have like a fucking knife in her hand or something.
Oh my God.
Start cutting her arm.
No, come on.
I need to feel something.
She is a mess right now, though.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I don't feel that bad for her. I don't think her and Dawson were great together necessarily.
For sure.
I don't think she was necessarily justified or unjustified in breaking up with him, but she did break up with him, and it's like she expected him to not be with somebody.
Yeah, she's like last episode, she's like, "Oh, Dawson and I have plenty of time to figure things out." Like, no, he's gonna move on, you stupid bitch.
The whole creek's named after him. I mean, he's a hot priority, air commodity. Anyway. So that is the episode, though, and that's the season, folks. That is the season of Dawson's Creek. Hopefully, I'm I haven't looked to see if they got renewed for a second season, but I'm pretty sure they have.
They have to. I will fucking burn down the studio if there's not going to be a second season.
Yeah, hear that, Michigan J Frog? We'll burn down the WB. But anyway, so we will see you next season. You can check out our other episodes too. You can check out we do Buffy the Vampire Slayer, sister show to Dawson. We do a movie every week, and we do 90210. So check out some of those shows if you don't listen to them. But yeah, that is the week and the season. Carol, why don't you tell everybody where to get off?
So you can write us at latefee1994AOL.com.
Yep.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.